Alright, back to the third part of the Song of the Elves. Oh boy, so I believe here this is it. I think it's Lenowin? Fuck. I'm trying not to get confused with that bloody Elder Scrolls Oblivion town and that. Lewin? Fuck it, it's close enough, something like that. But yeah, so as far as the ongoings of what's happening here and that, yes, so I said what I want to do is move the just very slightly out and that, just so it doesn't cause any confusion. But I gotta say, as far as repositioning the camera, it's not a bloody nightmare itself, but alas, here we are. Yeah, close enough. So, right, perfect. Alright. So, as far as what the Revenant Caves is concerned with, certainly I do have, I don't know, is it contentious really? And that, I mean, as I say, you saw my one trip there, back when I was like, not quite taking over the Venezuela, but you could start to see the signs really creeping in, and this was at the point where I was just like full on boiling. It has been the past few months and that up till then, but yeah, as far as Revenant Caves, yeah, it's no more in the traditional sense. It's not nearly the same popularity as it used to be, and is that for better or for worse? I mean, I think the economy will certainly not, like, what people seem to be pissed off about, it's like, oh, you've killed this good thing, it's like, people will just move on to like the next economy breaking thing, it's like, yeah, I have half a point there, but the problem is how easy it was to access. It's like these real world traders are now shifting on different things. They're going to have to now, like, have to put in more effort, like, not significantly more. That's still a bit of a problem itself. Like, okay, they have to actually start putting effort, but it's not a great deal more effort than what it used to be. So it's kind of like, have we really fixed it, or have we just kind of put a little band-aid on what is a huge, huge wound that's been bleeding every day, and it's causing the economy to get worse and worse. Yeah, no, people I think don't really realise the effects of the economy. Like, it works in very strange ways, and I suppose you really only feel it like on Runescape 3 with regards to the rare items, the fucking 15, 20, 30 billion super rare party hat things, But of course, they're just like fucking pie hats. I think as far as gold inflation is concerned and that, people are worried that, well, I think it's truly difficult to try and comprehend the idea. Like, I mean, I'm talking about this from an accounts perspective, so forgive me if I go on a bit jargon wise, but the problem with how items are affected, it's not so much even the case, like, say, too much gold, not enough, to put in, items go up, and I mean, balls will go up naturally over time, we see that much with RuneScape 3, but the bigger problem lies when you're trying to make content that's worthwhile. As we know with skill, like, skill's now got the problem, you don't want to make it profitable for skillers, because then that makes, the supplies for PBOs too expensive, and they'll bitch about it, even though that was kind of the point, and that, things were expensive, like, the good stuff was expensive, because they were worth it more, That's why tuna's never been that expensive, like, I like the sort of budget food, and that, swordfish, that's when it starts to get kind of expensive, you're paying, like, what, 3-5 times, as much in that, but you're getting that little extra 4 HP, and his sharks was like, at one point it was like over 2000 GP, in the heydays of RuneScape, and that, you got, like, it was really expensive, like, I always compare it to, like, hit points, tuna, really nice, 10 GP per hit point, sharks, rip off, 100 GP per hit point at that point, but it was worth it because it was the best food, and that, but now it's like, struggles to even hit 800 these days. It's not been over 1000 for a long time, and that, but yeah, such as it is, and this is how, indeed, just with the whole economy side and things, they're trying to fix it, but at the same time, it's like, it's an uphill battle, I feel, and it's, why, unfortunately, now the Wilderness Rev Caves is a bit of a dead hotspot now, as I say, I'm not saying like, I'm an advocate of Rev Caves, like, being nerfed. Now you got it and you're complaining? Not quite. I feel like it's in terms of, well, how do you deal with the whole vast gold farming operation? You know, they're not keen to tackle gold farmers, so how do you deal with that then? And I think that's the problem. They're not keen to take on, not so much the gold sellers, but the gold buyers, because there's a huge underground black market culture about that. They don't want to tackle it in fears of pissing off a large amount of their audience. Same thing with third party. If you've got the two of them, yeah, there would be a fucking nuclear meltdown as far as the community is concerned. I'd say real world trading is the less of the two, but I dare say it, in some ways it's actually the more important one. But third party clients, I just feel like, nah, I'll never use third party clients even now, and I would rather change the resolution so that I could get back to what it should be. And you'll no doubt know why, because the pixels being kind of stretched and that, but I'll get more on that when we get to that point of this quest here, because it's just, there's not fucking much to talk about. Yeah, no, it's just Christ. But anywho, yeah, so, oh yeah, here's another one, yeah. So here's a quote-unquote popular Twitch streamer known as Mow You Down has been caught scamming his backers on oh, why am I not fucking surprised? Staking at the jewellery in a fucking sand casino. Fucking hell. Yeah, this was a partner in crime who I believe he goes as Don Crypto or 302 Hustlers. And essentially his whole stake there was like trying to, I forget how exactly it was done on that, you know, something to do like setting up a stake in a particular week. You know the scam by now, you know, like doing a particular little thing here and there, you know, make it seem like, oh, you've got better odds, but actually you don't, you have worse odds, and just staging that. And yeah, again, quite to cover it up, but yeah, holy fucking. Yeah, so we've got a puzzle here with the chalices again. Yeah, return here once more on that, yeah, to try and get, you know, I don't know, I find it interesting to revisit old parts quest and that as part of a new Grandmaster, and I reckon it'll be the same with the Grandmaster of the Vampire, but that's getting off the point here. So what I reckon, as far as the Twitch stream culture and that, and I know there's been a recent kerfuffle about, what is it, Twitch kind of doubling down on people play music and that, getting them banned and that, you know, like, their advice, just basically delete all the videos so you think I've got music kind of claimed, you know, like, or potential claimable music. And yeah, it's a bit of a fucking disaster. It's like, yikes. I mean, I only like Twitch because it appeals to the streaming kind of thing, you know. Like, there's certain things you only get on there you can't get anywhere else, and that, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, you know. But I just reckon, you know, at the end of the day, and that, you know, you get what you take, and that, you know, people very much like the idea of, you know, just a chill Twitch environment, you know, just doing their own kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, it's all good and that, but nah, not for me, I'm afraid, not for me. But alrighty then, so I reckon with this little puzzle, and yeah, also yeah, there was somebody else, I didn't fucking notice that guy. How did he get in that instance? The fuck? I only just noticed that there. He got it. I thought this was an instance area. The hell? How did I not notice that? I was just so zoned into trying to get the puzzle right. I didn't even, my brain didn't take in the fact that there was somebody else in the instance with me. Like, Jesus Christ. So, not really an instance then, because that kind of defeats the purpose of an instance. And you know, holy fuck. Yeah, there you go, the old backstory in King. And you know, very much a thing I would normally expect to meet in RuneScape 3, but alas. Yeah, this is indeed the sort of new revelation of yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of history in regards to the elves and that, you know, but as I say, I've only read so much of the books and that on RuneScape, so yeah, fun times indeed. But alright, so while that shenanigans goes down. Alright, so okay, here's something I thought I talked about, but evidently I only talked about the potential outcomes, and I didn't necessarily equate to What I would wager would be the actual... How can I phrase this the best way? Now that he's came out, and this has again been a little while, that's just the kind of phrase, it's been a good 3+ weeks since this event happened, so you can imagine the whole batch of news and just what's needed to be catched up on. It's, yeah, quite a lot indeed. So, Lletya, he made the video as he promised, although that was fucking delayed by another 2 days, so take with that as you will. Yeah, so he... Bloody hell. So he addressed, let's see, yeah, the conspiracy, the theories in his own words. And like, as I say, remember the 5 different paths? 1, he just pretty much phoned it in for money, just totally fucked up and that. 2, he got lazy and just kind of just got neglectful, you know, despite his whole like, oh, survive against all laws. 3, it was an act of sabotage and he just wanted to cover up. I still believe that to this day and that. Just because of the whole how someone's been acting and now it's just a whole different thing together. It's just like, yeah, I wonder if he's just trying to kind of, you know, he's kind of trying to say, oh, I died this way, but actually, you know, secretly we know it's this way, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be seen as this, you know, getting all potential legal trouble with the police and that and all that stuff. So I think it's actually that. You know, 4, and these other 2 that have been debunked entirely, and that. 4 was the one where it's like, oh, I've already done the... Oh, no, sorry. 4 was... He was like, oh, I want to restart and I've lost all... But actually, it's a psych moment. Actually, I've already got it. So I thought that was kind of like just to kind of keep on suspense, really talking about, which would be a big move. And 5 was the opposite of that, where he's already done it and that's him just dying right after, you know. And that'll just be kind of like, that's me done with it kind of thing. Which would kind of fuck up the whole plans with regards to Nightmare, Ashihama, the Dark Mirror content and other stuff. But hey ho, so yeah, my money's on the 3rd one. But how he addressed it was... I don't know. I mean, as I say, the hive mind thing is kind of a true thing, whereas like they were mostly getting negative and just kind of criticising them, investigating. But after he made the video, did they do a fucking 180 and that, just kind of going instantaneous positivity and that. Albeit, and I hate to say this, I'm kind of glad this came up. There was some, you know, constructive skepticism. Some was not so constructive, but you know, more like just doubting, you know, kind of bullshitting that. But people did say that there's reason you shouldn't be eager to trust them so quickly. And you know, people who, I don't know, there's a lot of blindness that goes on. You know, if you love your kind of content creators and that, you won't ignore a lot of things. Or indeed, love can make people do crazy things. And I know that much where all the people, relationships I've witnessed over the years and that, it's a dodgy thing. And I think content creators know the power that they hold. And Swamp Lletya is like, yeah, nah. As I say, and you know, it's unfortunate he didn't quite get hit with the criticism and punishment that he should have had, but as I say, I'll give kudos for him being cunning enough to kind of slightly word things around, but I don't think you really need to say much, just say, oh, I didn't do it, here's this and that, you know, I'm not going to really address the whole count sharing thing because of, you know, that's, he intentionally didn't talk about it, and that's what's disappointing me is the fact that he didn't, but I'll say kudos to him for at least kind of, you know, it's kind of a shady dick move, but that's the thing, and he knows what he's talking about, you know, so it's like, that's what makes me really believe it is, because if it's the case that's not, why not just say it? Just say, you know, alright, there's this and that, you know, I can definitely say that, you know, go in detail on that, you know, it's personal business, we shouldn't know anything about it, but I feel it's just more of a convenient excuse than anything else, but yeah, I reckon I was right on the money on that with it. You know, we'll never know the truth for sure, but fun times we'll be having. Indeed, I would love to have been a fly on the wall at the moment. Is Count died and that, who got killed and that, if it was staged or just made to look like he was died out negligence. Who the fuck knows? But that's the drama. It's all done away with now with Leagues being on the scene and now him and other content creators now focusing on it. Yeah, he's now on. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As far as Trailblazer League's concerned, and that I've only really been watching the 4 and that this time, still opposed to 3. Yeah, instead of a friend, Mr. Mamo and Boaty, it's still a friend, and that the reason I watched Mr. Mamo is because I kind of went off him, and that I feel like, nah, there's something about it, it's just, he's not the worst content creator out there, but I feel like he's kind of, I think somebody said about how he was just like kind of being a bit too big, and that, like, you know, he was too big success, and he just can't detach. it's kind of like that, you know. It's like still has a bit of a good heart in him, but nah, yeah, that's so. Very much so. I've just distanced myself from it. Same with the Archive. I think the only reason I'll watch it is when he dies, and that when he dies, I'll be able to see Gielinor. The Gielinor I only watched because he died, because that was when I found out the series. But well, I guess we'll wait and see. But yes, so alongside my friend and that, there's also C Engineer. He's doing like friend's doing the melee path, C Engineer's doing the mage path as well. Traversa's doing the range path. He's in Worldy too, and Verf he's melee as well on that, but he's picked some different regions from a friend and that. So they're all kind of different in a way, and it's like it's intriguing. And I'm intrigued to see what each of them will get up to in their own kind of little playthroughs and that. And yeah, as I say, I could be fucked to make my own kind of series. It's like nah, because I'll fuck up my main experience of the main game, and even then I don't have nearly as much time as I used to. Like going full time, I already know that much, but now it's like nah, it's getting to a point where like, do I try to do as much as I can in that, what long time I'll go, or do I just kind of call it quits, retire, and then wait until either get a bit of a holiday break, or I don't think with the work, like, I would have thought maybe I would have got furloughed or even worse yet laid off by now, but no, that has not been the case, so unless if the UK economy goes tits up in the next year or so and that, I doubt it, and that, so, like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, get me fired, and because I want to get back to RuneScape, but that's really the only way, other than getting a holiday that lasts a week or two. And even then, that's just for a week or two at that, when that really could be used for actually going abroad and that, but I dare say we're not going to be having that anytime soon, so maybe it might just be for a better idea to have a nice couple weeks and that, just get it cozy up and, playing some good old RuneScape, if only for a short little while, but I digress. So, anyway, yeah, so moving on from that big one and that. Yeah, so, anybody recognise Asmongold? Indeed, that popular World of Warcraft streamer. No doubt you already recognised his appearances and agreement to stream Old School RuneScape's new Trailblazer League, as he does something of an interview with some of the senior Old School RuneScape developers. I think Mod Kieran and Mod Sweden was among them, as well as, I want to say Mod Bonsai, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to double check that. Yeah, just kind of discussing all the things about it, and it was actually pretty good for the most part, but the one problem was, Asmongold's severe lack of knowledge in the bot situation. It's like, oh, you guys must be handling the bot situation pretty good, and it's saying like, oh, this has got a pretty good system. Bitch doesn't even know about Twitch Prime, and that chaos it causes, never mind the regular bot, and like, no, they don't have a control of it, come on. Like, that's just... I want to say it's one just being ignorant or just not really knowing that much, but nah. The botting situation alongside the gold farming is kind of what's fucking up the economy at the moment, and I dare say it's contributing to other problems as well, not some of which I'll get into later on, and that, but oh boy. Man, just crazy to think though, but yeah, as I say, otherwise, pretty decent interview and that, it's not, like, normally with Jagex there's always something funny going on. I think, yeah, they've paid him to kind of do this and that, but that's to be expected. I don't think, like, it's still up there if he's kind of actually taking an interest in Old School RuneScape, or he's just taking the cash money and just fucking off back to World of Warcraft. Who knows? And, that's the funny thing, when they always say, oh, I've decided that now I'm actually going to finally try Old School RuneScape. What you really mean to say is, Jagex, it's code for Jagex came on with a very good offer that I would be very silly not to refuse. So now I'm like, we're kind of putting this guy's, oh, now I'm actually playing, but really, I'm getting like, I don't know if I would have been 5 grand, 10, 20, 30, maybe not even a full grand, that, who knows, but evidently it was worth it for him, so there we go. So, alright, one last little one to finish on. This is, again, touching with the whole security issue. So, remember how I said Zazima got in no problem despite the login security issue? Well, that turned out to be a bit short-lived, as indeed the very much iconic, it's actually always funny how this got started off, yet Wooks himself, not on his main account, which may be good or bad depending on how you see it, he made a new account specifically for leagues to avoid this issue, but within 5 hours on his league and that, you know, he got into that issue because some fuckwit at Jagex thought, okay, oh, it's a bit strange this guy's kind of asking, you know, for like the login details of this known famous player now the IP address, but alright, here you go, here's the login, you know, not the login, the full login, like the email and password, just the email. And that's not even the only way again. There's other ways of kind of checking, you know, if you know roughly, you can kind of type in, and once you get a match, and that'll say, oh, this email address, you know, it comes up with it, you know, like, there's ways of checking. That's the problem. It's like, you know, I remember back, something I'd learned with some of the customer service folks in my department and that, you know, like, just out of curiosity, you know, all the departments of the firm I work for and that, you know, there's a basic thing called security questions. Now, bloody hell. And there's a thing where it's like, when you're confirming the person you're talking to on another phone, which has become much more of a thing now with COVID-19, is who they say they are. Like, give an example, okay, the name, their address, their telephone number, and how can I not remember the fourth one? The fucking, what is it? Depends if it's a security question, it's more personal to them, or if they've managed to answer it. I forget, we'll just say the main three. You know, name, address, yeah, date and birth, that's the fourth one. So, you don't say, okay, you know, is your name this and this? That's a fuck up. If you do that, you know, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm totally this person you said that I am. You're like, no, it's not even that. You don't say, okay, are you this and that? They say, you know, no, say, what's your name? They give you this, and it's like, you know, there's a little thing, because like, you know, say, okay, say, once, if you write down the name, you know it's wrong, you don't say, okay, you know, you give a name to what it is, you say, okay, very good, you know. These are things that professionals pick up on, and that, and this is something that Jagex has done themselves, like, if you get it wrong, it tells you one thing, if you get it right, it tells you something different. There should not be a differentiation, because that's how these people are getting login details, and once they know who's bank who's which, they lock them out and say, oh, pay up services. It's like, Christ. And I'm getting on to that later, but it's gone really bad. But that's how Luke's got his lead. Not even because of that, because some fuckwit Jack support just basically handed it up to somebody because they asked for it. It's literally that bad. Just when simply asked, it's, oh my god. But, right. So, all that frustration aside, I reckon we'll leave it here. And next time, also, yeah, I out to really fucking reposition now, like, yeah, see with that. The joys of trying to record a new monitor and that, I'll just have to kind of deal with that, but right, till then folks, till then.